today, you see on the top, right? The cause of the destruction, a survey of opinions in Gemara Shabbat. Okay, generally, at least for me when I was in high school, I heard the reason why the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. Now, first of all, there are two different Beit HaMikdash. There's the first Beit HaMikdash and the second Beit HaMikdash. Second of all, you hear many different reasons. You have the reasons within the Tanakh, the reasons in the Gemara, the reasons in the historians. You have Josephus, who writes a history written for the Romans. And you have many different sources as to why the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. Now, I'm calling the high schoolers here because I remember from high school. If I asked a high schooler, why was the Beit HaMikdash destroyed? What answer would you give?
Which one?
Which one? Okay. The second one.
Multiple reasons.
Okay, Sinat Chinam. What's the famous story that we hear about? Right, the famous story, Kamsa and Bar Kamsa. You heard the story or no? Right? Kamsa and Bar Kamsa?
Oh, the party.
Yeah, what happened?
He was there with the party, and I don't remember who, but one of them didn't want the other one invited. And then he got really upset and told the head of the Romans, I think, or whoever it was, saying that prove to you without giving a korban, like they're not gonna give you a korban, and he, like, I don't know, messing it up the whole time.
Good. So they found a way from this whole mix-up of an invitation. You ever invite someone to the party and then you get an invitation? Clearly, I invited people to the class, half the room's missing, but it's okay. You invite people to a party. There was a party going on, and there was a mix-up. Kamsa, Bar Kamsa, they had similar names. Sent the guy home, got upset, got angry, and it caused what they said the destruction. Because he went to the Romans and he told on the whole story, and he caused a way to bring the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. Okay? What's another reason why it brought down why the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed? Yeah?
The Jews weren't united.
Okay, good. The Jewish people were not united, which by the way has two possibilities. The religious possibility of Sinat Hinam, and also when you want to fight an enemy, I think you want to be united. Right? In order to fight as a united group, you need to be able to fight to be together as a group.
I got it.
Now for me, there are a couple more reasons. You might get into them in the Gemara today. Joe, you wanted to mention one more?
That people live properly.
Good, we're going to get to that, so please don't ruin my class today. But actually, Joe, that's actually one of it. If you can find it, when we get there, you'll be able to read that one. The general reason why we hear why the Beit HaMikdash is destroyed, we're going to talk about the first Beit HaMikdash today. That's why we're going to quote a bunch of Pisukim in the Gemara. Pisukim are going to help us explain why the Beit HaMikdash is destroyed. We could use that for the first Beit HaMikdash, for the second Beit HaMikdash. Whatever it is, the general reason why I hear that the Mikdash is destroyed, if you look in the Nevi'im, if you read the Haftarah yesterday, and we'll look at the Haftarah yesterday, called Shabbat Hazon Yeshaya. Anyone? No? Okay. You read it? They're saying you read it. What was it about? You don't know. It was about Sinat Hinam. It was about Bnei Israel making korbanot, doing korbanot, keeping Shabbat, doing all the holidays. And what? It's not worth anything. Why is it worth nothing at all? Not being respectful, they're murdering each other, they're stealing, they're not acting properly towards one another. We're going to see today 8 different opinions. Okay? We're going to start before the 8 opinions from where the 2 lines are. If you never read Gemara before, how many of you in this room never really learned Gemara before from a page of Gemara? Raise your hand. Good. Good. So it's your first time really learning Gemara. That's pretty good. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda Bered Rav Shmuel, where the 2 lines are. If you didn't notice already, the Gemara is not going to be fully in Hebrew. It's going to be in a language called Aramaic. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda Bered Rav Shmuel, Mishemeh de Rav, the name of Rav. En hadeleka mesuya, when you have a fire is not found. Ela b'makom sheyesh chilul Shabbat. Where you're going to find a fire breaking out? Where people are not keeping Shabbat properly. Shin ne'emar. And let me teach you something about this Gemara I printed out. When it quotes Pisukim, if you look on the left side of the Gemara here, it will give you the full pasuk. So let's read the full pasuk. Ve'imlot, so it's number 7 on the left side. Ve'imlot tishmeu elai, if you don't listen to me, lekadesh et yom HaShabbat, Ubilti se'et masa. If you don't keep Shabbat properly and you treat it like a burden, Ubo b'sha'arei Yerushalayim b'yom haShabbat v'hisati esh b'sha'areha v'achela armenot Yerushalayim v'lo tibkeh.
Use the microphone.
I don't mind. You want me to use it like this?
Yeah.
You want me to? It's on. It's working. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
So here the pasuk's talking about what's going to cause me to bring esh in Yerushalayim when people don't keep Shabbat. Okay, back to our Gemara. V'hisati esh bish'areha ve'achelu armot Yerushalayim v'lo tibkeh. So we're on top of the number 1 in the Gemara. Mai v'lo tichbeh. What does that mean? The fire won't be put out. Remember, there'll be a fire in Yerushalayim because people are not doing what? Which mitzvah?
Shabbat.
Keeping Shabbat. So he says, Amar Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak b'sha'a she'en bnei adam mesuyim lechavlotam. What does that mean the fire won't be put out? Clearly, if there's a fire going on, what happens? Right, today's day and age, the fire department comes. The people come and they put the fire out. What does that mean in the pasuk? Velo tichbeh, and it won't be put out. When is the fire not put out? Overwhelming?
When there's no fire department.
Where is there no fire department? Maybe.
And
Because there's no one around when the fire is happening. Says Rav Rahman bar Yitzchak, you know when God's going to cause the fire on the Beit HaMikdash? When no one's around to see the fire. Meaning, what's happening already at that point in Yerushalayim? People are dead, people are exiled, people are gone. So I think the point here is also, no one's going to be there going to be able to save them, right? They're not going to be able to be saved in. I know it's easy to focus over there. You can focus over here. No one's going to be able to be there to save the fire from spreading in Beit HaMikdash. That's what it means. The lo tichbeh won't be put out. And now we're going to have 8 different sources, 8 different opinions. We already saw one opinion. It looks like why was the Beit HaMikdash destroyed? According to this first opinion,
There's nowhere.
no one kept Shabbat properly. Now I have a problem with that source. A big problem with that source. Because if you look in the words of Yeshaya Hanavi, from yesterday's Haftarah, he says, I don't care about all the Shabbats you keep. I don't care about your holidays. I don't care about your Rosh Chodesh. It doesn't matter if you're not treating each other with respect. It sounds like from that source that, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing then? They're keeping Shabbat. It seems like they're keeping Shabbat. It seems like the people are doing what they're supposed to be doing ritually. They're keeping the rituals. And yet, the Beit HaMikdash is still being destroyed. So let's see 8 different opinions. Who wants to read source number 1? Ronnie, Chavod. Number 1, Amar Rabbi.
אמר רבי, לא חרבה ירושלים אלא בשביל שחרבו בה את השבת שנאמר ומשבתותי העלימו עיניהם ואכלה בתוכה.
Good. What's Abaye's reason why the Beit HaMikdash gets destroyed?
וזה נאכל שם.
Where does he get that from?
From
Right before. Right before what we just read in the name of Rab, Abaye says the reason is they didn't keep Shabbat. Now I have a problem. I have a very big problem. He quotes a different pasuk. Listen carefully. We just explained that the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because Shabbat was not kept. We quoted a pasuk in number 7 on the left. Right? And now we're quoting a different pasuk. Look at number 8. We're quoting a different pasuk. Kohanea hamtu torati v'halezlu kodshi ben kodesh lechol lo hibdilu uben hatamei letahor lo hodiu. They didn't separate between holy and not holy, between tamei and tahor. Umishabbetutai he'limu enehem v'achal betocham. And they didn't keep Shabbat. What did they do? They rose their eyes up. They went like this. Oh, Shabbat? I'm not going to keep Shabbat. I don't care about Shabbat. And then this bothers me a little bit. Why is a different pasuk quoted? We just had a pasuk explaining that breaking the Shabbat is what caused the Beit HaMikdash being destroyed. Yes?
The first pasuk was in Yirmiyahu, and I think was before the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, and was more of a warning: if you don't keep the Shabbat, then the Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed. But Rabbi is bringing a reason why it was destroyed, which he's bringing it as SCA as more of a aftermath.
Good, you can give this class, by the way. It's exactly it. Okay? If you look again in number 7 and number 8 on the left side, not within the Gemara, on the left side, look carefully at the words. Ve'im lo tishme'u elai in number 7. If you don't listen to me, this is what's going to happen. But in source number 8 it says, Lo hivdilu ben hatameh ve'hatahor. Lo hodiu. They didn't keep the laws. Umishabetotai he'elimu. And they already going like this to Shabbat. Now, why Shabbat? Why is that mitzvah so special that the Beit HaMikdash is being destroyed because of Hilul Shabbat? Yeah.
It's not, it's just an example.
What?
It's not the only thing, it's just an example of what they're doing.
No, but he's saying because they didn't keep Shabbat, because of that specific Averah of breaking Shabbat, Beit HaMikdash, it deserves to be destroyed for that. Think why? Yeah. Good. Okay. We have many others. Don't murder. I think it's pretty important. You're right. You're right. There's something more important about Shabbat. There's many elements of Shabbat. Why do we keep Shabbat according to the Torah?
Day of rest.
Because? Yeah.
Because God created the world in 6 days, and on the 7th day He rested. So
Good.
we're supposed to rest.
Good. So it's a reminder of B'riyat Ha'olam. Yafeh me'od. That's one reason why we keep Shabbat. And reminder of Yitziat Mitzrayim, which means remember you were slaves in Egypt, and now you need to give rest to your slaves. So what type of mitzvot is Shabbat? Is it Ben Adam LaChavero or Ben Adam LaMakom? Yeah. Okay, that's the God rested on the 7th day. But what about keep Shabbat because you have to give rest to your slaves because you were slaves in Egypt? Chavero. It has both Ben Adam LaChavero and Ben Adam LaMakom. Is Shabbat mitzvah aseh or lo ta'aseh? Both. And there's another element. Shabbat is called an ot berit. It's the sign of the connection between Am Yisrael and Hashem. It has everything in it. If you want to take a mitzvah that exemplifies Ben Adam LaChavero and Ben Adam LaMakom, it's a day where we're careful about not doing melacha, not doing work. Someone close that door. If it actually closes. It's a day of Ben Adam LaMakom. Think about Shabbat, prayers, making sure you don't do melacha, and it's Ben Adam LaChavero. You sit at the table with your family, you're supposed to eat food, you're supposed to eat a meal, you're supposed to be with your family on Shabbat, not move too far away around Shabbat, be with your family. So it has everything in it. Good. That's number 1. Number 2. Who wants to read number 2? Mark? Havod.
Vic.
Amar BeAb.
All on Vic.
Let's go. Amar BeAb.
No,
Go.
I think Jake.
Amar BeAb.
You
Come
guys are
on.
nervous, you're embarrassed?
Amar BeAb. Lo
Because
hareva.
he goes to Ramas.
אמר רבי אביו, לא חרב אלא שביעו, שבטלו, קריאת שמע, שחרית וערבית, שנאמר, היו,
Hoy. Where hoy is like woe unto. Hoy.
משכימי בבוקר שחר ירדפו.
But what are they running after instead of doing Kiryat Shema? Shechad Yirdof. What does that mean, Shechad? They're running to drink. Okay? That the people are running instead. Well, if you don't have a source sheet, they're up here. If I don't came in late, their source sheet's over here. I'll make it easier for you. If someone pass these back, because the kids in the back don't have them. Shechad Yirdofu. They're not doing Kiryat Shema night and morning. Instead, they're running after alcohol and drinking. And maybe at night they're not saying Kiryat Shema, instead they're running after. What's the game called again? Fortnite. Right? We're not doing Shema at night, we're doing Fortnite instead. Right? That's the equivalent, I would say, of Shechad Yidofu for some of you in this room of We're not running after alcohol and beer, we're running after, we gotta run to the game. Spend 4 hours on that. Kriyat Shema, you get 4 seconds.
4.
Shebitlu. Yeah, 4 seconds. Shebitlu Kriyat Shema Shaharit. Right? Abit Shaharit Shaharit Be'arbit. Yes, Joe.
I mean, how do you know it's not like water? How do you know it's drinking necessarily alcohol?
Shechar. Shechar
Really
is
bad.
Shechar is intoxicating. And it says also, Uchti ve'aya kinor v'navel tof ve'halil ve'yain mashtehem. And wine is their main element. Ve'etpol Adonai lo hibitu. And they did not look towards the works of God. Uchtiv lachen gala ami b'yedei da'at. And therefore, the nation without da'at, without knowledge, is going into exile. Why? Because you don't want knowledge. You want to do your own thing. You don't care about Kriyat Shema, Arbit, and Shaharit. How hard is that, by the way? Kriyat Shema in the night and the morning? Is it tough? Is it hard to do? No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. The guy sitting there, he's like half drunk. Leave me alone. I don't want to say Kriyat Shema. Leave me alone. I want to sleep. I want to leave me alone. I don't want to. And we're not talking about people who don't know about it, or don't know how to read Hebrew, or just tired. We're talking about the following word. Look at source number 2. Bitlu Kriyat Shema. They go out of the way to cancel it. They say, forget about it. They knowingly are told to do it, and they say, I don't want it. I don't want Kriyat Shema. Okay, good. Not good there. Source number 3, Amar Rabbi Memuneh. No readers, no readers?
No.
Raymond, Chabod.
אמר הכבודנה מלחמנה לה חרבה בירושלים אלא בשביל שביטלו עד תינוקות של בית רבן שנאמר שפו על אוהל בחוץ.
Good. Did you read that whole pasuk actually? Read the whole pasuk in number 12.
בעת חמת אדוני מילאתי הכיל שופך על עולל בחוץ ועל סוד בחורים אכלו כי גם איש עם אישה ירחתו זקן עם מלא ימים.
Okay? So what's the reason why? What does that mean? Shebitlu tinokot shel bet rabban. What does that mean? Who are the tinokot of bet rabban? Anyone know what that means?
Babies of that.
Okay, close. Bet rabban is where they would learn Torah. It means they neglected the study for school children of Torah. Really. Yerushalayim is destroyed because the people neglected educating the school children. Perfect reason for this room. Right, this is why we have classes for kids. Look at the Gemara. Bet HaMikdash was destroyed because, look at the way they read the pasuk. Pasuk says they murdered children. The children were murdered in Bet HaMikdash. You know what they say instead? They weren't really murdered. It was the people. Let me read the pasuk actually. Shefoch al olal bachutz. It means God got angry because of the child on the street. Why was the child on the street?
Wasn't educated.
Right? The child was left on the street and not be brought in to learn Torah. Children need to learn. We have other things. We have more important things to do than to spend our time and our money on children learning Torah. And we'll get to that source a little bit later. There's someone who goes much later on the Gemara, a little bit later in the Gemara, much deeper into this topic. Okay, number 4.
Ciao.
4. אמר אולה, אולה רעולה. לא חרבה ירושלים, אלא מפני שלא היה להם בושת פנים, זה מזה, שנאמר, הוגישו כי תועבה, עשו גם בוש לא יבושו.
So what does boshet panim mean? Lo haya lahem boshet panim. What does that mean they didn't have embarrassment? Embarrassment about what? Look at the pasuk. Look at number 13. Read it. Hello? Hobishu.
13, הוגישו כי תועבה, עשו גם בוש לא יבושו, גם הגלים לא ידעו.
Right, what's my job if you're doing something bad?
Tell them that.
They weren't embarrassing each other. They're doing terrible things, maybe even together, and they're not embarrassed about it. They're just continuing it. Gam Bosh, they had zero embarrassment for what they were doing wrong. At all. You're supposed to naturally, you do things wrong, and what happens? What's that feeling? You feel ashamed. Not saying you don't do it, but you feel ashamed. The shame that you feel is that first step towards doing the right thing.
We're rebuking one another.
So the rebuking another one's a different source. Rebuking another, I think, might be the next source. No, rebuking another is number 6, actually, okay? But this is a little different. This is not about rebuking. They weren't embarrassed from one another. The rebuking is, at least one guy maybe knows how to do right and the other guy doesn't. This I feel like they're all doing bad and they're all not embarrassing each other at all. There's no embarrassment, zero. We're holding my closer, yes, okay. So, I don't even get what I'm talking about. Number 5, maybe? Number 5? אמר רבי
יצחק לא חרבה ירושלים אלא בשביל שהתעשרו
הושבו.
קטן וגדול שנאמן והיה כעם שכהן ואוכלי והבוק תרוב הארץ.
Okay? What does that mean? שהושבו גדול וקטן? Meaning? So what?
The Kitanim didn't have respect for the Kitanim.
Right? Not even that. So there's one element, that the younger people didn't have respect for the older people. But even worse than that, it seems like the older people also, hushvu. No, young person, old person alike. It would be like you're on the train and the young people say, I'm not getting up for you. I'm like you. If anything, I'm better than you. You know technology so well? No. You have a smartphone? No. You must be a dib. What are you doing taking my seat for? I'm the genius. Who's going to keep this world going? You think you are? In Judaism, we think differently. We say that the older person, what do we say about the older person?
Give more experience.
With you. Another person can teach my classes. It's tough. What? Maybe you could. You've done it also when you had Kohelet, yes. But he taught my class on a Shabbat. He took an answer straight out of my mouth, as if he heard it from me. Think about this idea. In Judaism, we believe that the more experienced you are, the more knowledge you have. The more you go through life, the more you experience certain things that we believe that you are, especially even because you know how to deal with things. And knowing how to deal with things also brings you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hushvu gadol v'katan. The older person like the younger person like the... And by the way, you've seen that sometimes. Maybe. You've seen it. Where an older person, younger person, when the younger person responds to the older person like, who do you think you are talking to me like that? I'm better than you. Not that any of you ever done that to your parents before, ever, God forbid. But we do it all the time. Right? We do it all the time, right? When we respond to certain things to our parents, and we say certain things as if we're saying, I'm no different than you. What makes you any better? Source number 6. Amarav Amram, this is a longer one. Who wants to read the longer one? Chavod. Joe.
Amarav Amram Be'ab
Pereh means the son of. Rabbi Shimon.
Rabbi Shimon Baraba Mar Rabbi Shimon Baraba Mar Bechonina Lo Charaba.
Father, can I stop you for a moment? That in and of itself is a reason why the Beit HaMikdash got destroyed. Do you see that whole long line? Amar Rav Amram, Bered Rabbi Shimon Baraba, Amar Shimon Baraba, Amar Rabbi Hanina. Can you just tell me Amar Rabbi Hanina or Amar Rav Amram? You got to give me this whole long line. It's interesting that there's a Gemara that says, you know what brings Ge'ulah, you know what brings redemption to the world? When you quote your rabbi. When a person quotes the person they heard something from. That brings redemption. Is when you properly quote, you don't plagiarize other people's speeches and other people's content, you quote them. Why does that matter so much?
Honoring them.
Honoring them, good. You're showing greatness to someone, good. What else? Yeah, but honoring them, can I ask you a good question? What about me? Sometimes I quote students. I write the names down in Tanakh. I say, okay, I quote this kid because they said a great thing. I have any responsibility to do it? Because then, Torah is not about your intelligence. It's about giving over the intelligence. It's not about your chokhmah and your wisdom. It's about giving over the knowledge. So when you quote other people, you're saying, It's not about me. It's not about me being important. It's about the idea that I'm giving over. Okay? Continue. Jump. Again, we're at number 6 right now in the Gemara. There's a huge underline of a huge long names. לא חרבה ירושלים.
לא חרבה ירושלים אלא בשביל שלא הוכיחו זה את זה שנאמר היו.
You want to read the pasuk? It's nekudot. Go to number 16.
ויעשה מפאת ציון כל הדרי היו שריה כהילדים לא מסרו נראה והלכו כלא כוח לפני רודף.
Okay? They became like animals, heart type of animal, not H-E-R-T, but H-A-R-T, that can't find any pasture. Like an animal can't find any green grass. Imagine what that's like. He's trying to eat, he's hungry, doesn't find anything to eat from. Okay?
When we fast, we don't have anything. We're looking for food, but we're not allowed to eat.
Because, what are we really looking for?
We're really looking for
Forgiveness. We're looking for unity. We're looking for, like you said, we're looking for our leader, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're looking for different things, right? Many times we're wandering and we don't know what to look for sometimes because we can't find anything. Because we lost it and we gave it up. Back to the Gemara, Joe. Ma'ayil zeh. You have it? After the words lo masu mireh.
מה היוזר ראשון של זה וסי הזנבור של זה אף ישראל שראה אותו הדור כבשו פניהם בקרקע ולא הוכיחו זה את זה.
What does that mean, boys? Lo hochichu ze et ze. What does that mean?
Rebuke.
What does it mean to rebuke someone? Yeah,
Tell them off.
right? But you don't want to tell them off. Here it's more, it's called hocheach tochiach et amitecha. They say, by the way, let's say you have someone who's not wearing tefillin properly. How do you handle that situation? How? You must take them to the side and talk to them. You're not supposed to go, like you can't talk because he's so holy, so you're screaming at the guy. No. I'm trying to imitate the deer that's being awesome. Right, you don't do that. You're supposed to go over the person nicely. Maybe even sometimes you can't do it during tefillah. It's okay. Tell nicely, listen, but let's say more importantly, a person's doing an avirah of sin. Now imagine they're embarrassing someone else, and you embarrass them. How dare you? You can't accomplish things by doing hochacha the wrong way, but you still must do it. Who's the biggest example of someone who gave rebuke to his people? Yeah, Moshe. The whole parasha yesterday, Rashi brings all these pirushim to say, what are all these places? Ben Lavan uben Tofel, ben Paran uben Tofel, ben Lavan b'chaserot b'di zahav. He says all these places are reasons why Moshe Rabbeinu is giving them rebuke. Rebuke is when you give them advice, not advice, telling someone something so that they learn from their mistakes. So he tells them, you did Haita Ega, you did Haita Meraglim. This is a very complicated mitzvah. Have any of you ever been in a situation where this mitzvah was complicated? Where you're supposed to tell someone they're doing something wrong? Anyone ever in that situation when it was complicated and you didn't know what to do? I'll repeat it again. Were you ever in a situation where you're supposed to... when you're in a situation where someone's doing something wrong and you want to tell them something, but you're frozen, you're not sure how and what to do. Have you ever been in that situation before? Yes. Okay, it's very hard. Someone want to describe how it's hard? I don't know. Yeah, John.
I have a question. So, like, what do you do when you know that an adult is doing something wrong? Like,
this is very complicated. That's probably the most complicated one. What do you do when a parent is instructing you to do something that this thing is wrong?
we're not even instructing me, I just see it.
You have to learn. It's a very hard thing That's the point of Hushvu Gadol V'Katan. You have to learn how to balance telling someone something, and I've done it before. I got yelled at once during Hallel and Bet Knesset, and I told the group of adults. The person came to me and says, "Who are you? You think?" Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not yelling at you. I'm just, we're in Bet Knesset. We're praying right now, and it gets harder with moral things. Halachot, it's either about, what about moral things? The person is really stealing something, and what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do in that situation? What do you do? You see someone stealing something, and you know who it is. You're watching it in a store. So listen, it might be easier for me personally, tell them after they just left the store. Not confront them when they're doing it, because they ain't going to listen to you. There's a halakha about that. What about when they're not going to listen to you? Do you tell them what they're doing wrong?
No.
You know they're not going to listen to you, you know that...
What if it's in the moment and you tell them they're doing something wrong and in that way you're embarrassing them? And that embarrassing is like killing, so you might as well
So
not
it depends
do it.
what it is.
Yeah,
Okay?
not
If they're beating someone up,
Yeah.
but if it's about it, they're embarrassing someone, you're going to embarrass them, like I said, it's probably better to wait and do it at the right moment. But again, lo hochidu, they gave them no rebuke. They let things slide. Gave them no rebuke. Good, number 7. I'm going to read number 7. Okay? Amar BeYehuda. Lo hala harba Yerushalayim ela bishvil shebizu ba tamidei hachamim. Because they embarrassed, they despised tamidei hachamim. Shne'emar, vayu mal'ibin v'malachei Elohim. They were ma'al, right? Mal'ib means they embarrassed people that were like malachim. Ubozim devarav umit'ateim b'neviyav. Ad alot hamat Hashem ve'amo. They did it until Hashem's anger came to His people. Ad le'en marpeh, until there was no healing for the situation. They embarrassed Tamidei Hachamim so much, there was no remedy, there was no medication that would fix their issue. My ad le'en marpeh, what does that mean? There was no medication, no fixing, no healing for it. Amar Yuda Amar Rav, kol hamevazeh tamid hacham en lo refuah lemakato. Someone who embarrasses a rabbi, I don't like using that. I don't talk about tamid hacham. A wise person who knows chokhmah Torah has no healing for their wound. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, Mai dichtiv al tik'u b'mshihai u'mibiyai al tare'u. You know that pasuk? If you want to look at number 18, we say it in Hodu, right? Al tige'u b'mshihai. That means not to touch my meshihai, my anointed one. U'b'mibiyai al tare'u. Don't do evil to my nevi'im. Al tige'u b'mshihai. Now listen carefully. Here's another thing, another reading on Al tige'u b'mshihai. Who are my meshihai? What would you say if I said this pasuk? Al tige'u b'mshihai. Don't touch don't hurt my anointed ones. Who's the Mashiach? Who are Meshihai? A king. You know what the Gemara says? You know what the Rabbi says? Who are the kings of the world? You don't want to guess? Look at the Gemara even. Who are the kings that if you mess with them, you're going to bring Khorban? The school children. The school children. Look at what the Drash is. Amar Yehuda Amarav, Mai dichtiv al tik'u b'mshihai. Look at, we're around 7 or 8 lines on the bottom. Al tik'u b'mshihai, elu tinokot shel bet rabban. Those are the school children. Ub'mibiyai al tare'u, elu tamidei hachamim. These are the rabbis. Same pasuk. Don't mess with the school children. If you interrupt their learning, if you mess with their learning, if you don't educate them properly, you're bringing the Khorban. And if you make fun of, or you despise, or you disregard the Tamidei Hachamim, also. How interesting, by the way. Because in schools, we combine Tamidei Hachamim with school children. And the Gemara is basically saying, this avoids Khorban. As long as you have schools running, which is why in the summer, in the 2.5 months, we create programs for students to learn. Not because we think it's important just for the kids to learn, Because the Gemara mentions that this is what brings the redemption. When we have school children learning, what's so special about school children learning? Yeah. Number one is they'll grow up to become the Talmidei Chachamim, but there's something more than that. What's special about a Talmid Chacham who's learning? A student who's learning. About a student that's learning.
If it spread his knowledge.
More than that. More than that. What about the pureness? There's a purity to a child learning Torah. I'll say shirah, they're not corrupted yet. There's a purity to a child, and here we're even talking about the second and third graders, the kindergartner, who they would stop in the street, you know what they would tell him? What's the pasuk you were saying today in school? Tell me the pasuk you were learning in school, I'm going to say it by heart. The student would know what pasukim they were learning in school, and they brought such great regard for that pasuk they were learning. It's important. The student that's learning and the hacham that's teaching. Look at that. Tell them outside they're trying to interrupt our class. You know, that's Gemara says that. And number 8, the final one. Amar Rabba.
Excuse me, boys. Right after this class, we head out of that door. Coach Aaron is giving a class in the gym. Okay, so right opposite that door, Coach Aaron's going to start next door. Okay.
Amar Rabba. La Hareba Yerushalayim. Who wants to read number 8? Who wants to end our last source? Who wants to read the last source? Number 8. Last source. Aiki, Chavor. Now I'm going to stop you for a moment. I'm going to come back to you in a second. By the way, I skipped one in the Gemara. It says, Kol Ir, any city without Tinokot Shabbat Rabam, without young students learning Torah, we destroy that city. Just pointing that out. That's the Gemara says straight out. You have a city without Tinokot Shabbat Rabam, the young students learning, destroy that city. Okay? Last source, again, read it. Lo Hareba Yerushalayim. Read it again, sorry. Read it again. Number 8 again. You know what that means? Anshe Emunah. Pasku mimena anshe Emunah. What are anshe Emunah abadu ba'im mechoach ma'asehem? We say it every Monday in Tahanun. Anshe Emunah are people of faith. Like a Moshe Rabbeinu. Like a Rabbi Akiva. Like a Chacham Ovadia Yosef. Like a Miki Keri. Anshe Emunah Abadu. Like a Motawa, Allah Shalom. These are Anshe Emunah, people of faith. What's the quote? Pasuk Aiki, that's read. Shne'emar. ובקשו Stop, we're going to end on this line. I don't think it's coincidence that this is the 8th source. The final one that's brought, we finally really get to what the Nevi'im spoke about is, go around, and if you find one person who's doing mishpat and tzedakah, justice and righteousness, I won't destroy the world. And this is straight out of the Tanakh. If you look in Tehillim, you look in Mizmor Yodalad and Tevav, you know what it says? Enish, en oseh tov, en gam ehaz, not one person who's doing the right thing. That is the final source for you in the Gemara. I don't think it's by coincidence. The Gemara wanted you to leave with that element of you need to learn to do justice and righteousness between each other. But don't forget there are 8 different sources over here. We read 8 different sources. And we'll end with this. Hilul Shabbat, Kiryat Shema, Arbit and Shahrit. The children learning Torah. Not being embarrassed from their actions. The old and the young are compared together, are equated. Numbers 5. No rebuke one to another. They're despising and embarrassing Talmidei Chachamim. The final one we just read, what was the final one? We'll end on this. What was the final one we just read?
One person doing good, right?
No one's doing righteousness. You find one person doing good. Boys, Gemara's saying, be that person who's doing good. You'll be zocheh that the world won't be destroyed, the Beit Medrash won't be destroyed because of you. One person. Who is that one person that things weren't destroyed because of him? More than that? More than that. Abraham Avinu, he was one person. A nation came from him. He said, good. Abraham Avinu, the one person. Out of the one person comes all that outgrowth. Be that one person who's going to do good. You're setting up for the future, a future generation after generation that will learn from your actions. The power of one person doing good. Split open up.
All right, boys.